The room froze in a single, fragile second, the kind that changes lives without warning. A billionaire single mother, surrounded by polished faces and crystal glasses, watched as a tired stranger gently lifted a spoon to her baby's lips, and what she saw next made her heart forget how to beat. Before the story unfolds any further, pause for a moment. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and quiet miracles that happen when no one is watching, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps stories like this reach hearts that are still healing. The dinner had been meant to be another obligation, another elite gathering hosted in a grand hall where wealth spoke louder than emotions. She arrived late, dressed in black elegance, carrying the invisible weight of a life rebuilt after loss. As one of the youngest self-made billionaires in the city, she was admired, envied, and endlessly judged. But beneath the flawless image lived a woman who had buried love and learned to survive alone. Her baby, barely a year old, was her entire universe, entrusted for the evening to a nanny so she could make a brief appearance and leave early. Yet fate had rewritten her plans. The nanny had been delayed, and the baby grew restless. Amid murmurs and polite smiles, a man seated a few tables away noticed the quiet distress. He was not dressed in luxury, just a neatly pressed shirt, sleeves slightly worn, eyes tired but kind. On his lap rested his own infant, balanced with practiced care. Without hesitation, as if guided by instinct, he stood, walked over, and offered help in the simplest way possible, by feeding her baby while she handled an urgent call. She returned moments later, expecting chaos. Instead, she saw something that stopped her breath. The man was feeding her baby with gentle patience, his movements slow and careful, his eyes never leaving the child's face. But it was not just the act of feeding that stunned her. It was the way the baby responded, calm and trusting, tiny fingers curling around his thumb as if they had always known each other. For a woman who had built empires through control and strategy, this scene unraveled her. She had not trusted easily since becoming a single mother. After her husband's sudden passing years ago, the world had become a place she managed, not one she felt safe in. People wanted her money, her influence, her time. No one ever offered something as pure as help without expectation. As she watched, memories surfaced of nights spent alone with her newborn, pacing marble floors, wishing for a hand to steady her shaking arms. She had succeeded in everything except easing the ache of loneliness that followed her everywhere, even into rooms full of people. Seeing this man, a stranger with nothing to gain, care so naturally for her child, cracked something open inside her. She learned quietly that he was a single father too. His wife had died during childbirth, leaving him with a daughter and a life that demanded strength he never asked for. He worked 2 jobs, attended gatherings like this only because a charity sponsor had insisted, and carried exhaustion like a second skin. Yet there was no bitterness in him, only a steady resolve shaped by love and responsibility. The evening shifted after that moment. She stayed longer than planned, watching him from a distance, noticing how he balanced his child, how he never checked his phone, how his attention belonged fully to the small life depending on him. It reminded her that real wealth was not measured in numbers, but in presence. Over the following weeks, their paths crossed again through chance and quiet intention. She found herself rearranging schedules, attending events she once avoided, just to feel that calm again. He never treated her differently when he learned who she was. There was no awe, no calculation. To him, she was simply another parent trying to do her best. Her world began to soften. She laughed more, slept better, allowed herself to imagine a future not built solely on survival. He reminded her that vulnerability was not weakness, and that love did not always arrive with fireworks, sometimes it came quietly, carrying a spoon and a tired smile. Challenges did not disappear. Society questioned his place beside her, whispered about motives, about class and power. She faced boardrooms that doubted her focus, advisors who warned her to protect her image. He faced his own fears of inadequacy, of being pulled into a world he did not belong to. But together, they discovered that healing often looks like choosing each other despite the noise. The babies grew comfortable side by side, their laughter echoing in spaces once filled with silence. In those moments, she understood what had frozen her that first night. It was not shock. It was recognition. She had seen a reflection of herself in him, another soul shaped by loss, still brave enough to love. As time passed, the story of the billionaire and the single dad became less about wealth and more about humanity. It became proof that the most powerful connections are born from shared pain and quiet kindness, not status or success. If this story is touching your heart, if it reminds you that love can find us even when we are not looking, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who believes in hope, and subscribe to the channel. Your engagement helps keep these stories alive. And before this story ends, we have a special request for you. Please comment below and tell us what moment moved you the most, or share a time when a simple act of kindness changed your life. Because sometimes, all it takes to change everything is a single moment at a crowded table, a tired parent, a hungry baby, and a heart willing to care.